I know exactly what the day everything changed looked like. Or rather, I know exactly what it didn't look like. There was no date circled in red on the calendar, no public announcement, no cinematic tragedy with rain pouring against the window. It was silent. It was almost polite. The world kept spinning, people kept talking, demanding, expecting, but something fundamental inside your machine simply turned the master volume down. You still replied to texts, you still met every deadline. You even laughed at the exact moments the social script required you to laugh. But nothing pierced the skin anymore. Nothing reached the core. It wasn't exactly sadness, and it certainly wasn't peace. It was a strange kind of neutrality, static noise. It was like living your life behind a pane of soundproof glass. Before, certain words hurt like paper cuts. Now, they just slide off. And the scariest part? Nobody noticed, because on the outside to the world, you looked more stable than ever. You looked chill, stoic. People praised your grit, while inside you had quietly cut the power. I am here to tell you that the diagnosis you've given yourself, that you have become cold or broken, is wrong. You haven't become a bad person. You have entered what neuroscientists call functional freeze. To understand this, stop looking at your personality and start looking at your hardware. This isn't a character flaw. This is survival biology. That day, the day you stopped caring, didn't arrive suddenly. It was built, brick by brick, by an operating system running over capacity for too long. It happened after you explained the unexplainable one too many times. It happened after you did the emotional heavy lifting alone. It happened after trying to be understood and failing repeatedly. Your brain, an efficient learning machine, learned a brutal lesson. Feeling costs too much. The return on investment for your emotions was negative. So it adapted. It activated an emergency protocol. It reduced signal intensity. It created cognitive distance. Not out of malice, but for preservation. Neuroscience calls this the dorsal vagal state. When your nervous system perceives that fighting is useless and fleeing is impossible, it pulls the emergency brake. You didn't stop caring because you wanted to. You stopped because caring threatened your system. It hurt more than it helped. At first, it felt like relief. Less expectation, less disappointment, less conflict. But there is an invisible tax. Neuroscience shows us we don't have a selective switch for emotions. You cannot numb the dark without numbing the light. When you lower your sensitivity to pain, you shut down your receptors for joy. When you distance yourself to avoid suffering, you distance yourself from what gave your life color. You became functional, and functional is not the same as alive. The scariest part is realizing you don't miss what you lost. The apathy became comfortable, and that terrifies you. You look in the mirror and wonder if you've become a monster. But let's look at this through an evolutionary lens. In nature, animals enter torpor to survive harsh winters. They lower their heart rate and temperature. They look dead, but they're just conserving energy, waiting for spring. You are living through an emotional winter. Your environment became too hostile. Your tribe didn't offer safety, so you hibernated. Therefore, the real question isn't when did you stop caring? The real question is, did you really stop feeling, or did you just become a master at not showing it? Energy doesn't disappear. It transforms. Those emotions are still there. They are just quiet, dammed up behind a circuit breaker your brain tripped to prevent a total system failure. The fact that you are worried about your indifference is the ultimate proof that you are not indifferent. So here's my prescription. Stop trying to force the feeling back. Stop beating yourself up for not vibrating with excitement like you used to. You cannot unfreeze a system by hitting it with a sledgehammer. Force only creates resistance. Ice only melts with warmth. And in the universe of emotions, that warmth is safety. Your system will only exit this power-saving mode when your neuroception, your brain's danger scanner, perceives that it is safe to feel again, that the cost of caring won't bankrupt you. This takes time, and that is okay. Some things don't disappear. They just go quiet, waiting for the right moment to make noise again. And when that day comes, I promise you will remember exactly what it feels like to be alive.